create a new context and to alter the priority. So in the case of me being consistent with an earlier decision, I want to change the context to, if you said you didn't want to buy any more coaching programs, but this program here is the last time we're doing this, or some other context change, which we'll go through later on, or probably won't go through later on, it's in the book, to show you how to alter the priority of the decision to make them decide the right way. You guys got any questions, put your hands up, because I'll go through it quickly. Overcoming loss aversion, risk reversals, guarantees, trials, things like this. Selection difficulty, how to overcome this. Reduce the choices in your products, pretty straightforward. Otherwise, make it easy to compare your solutions and make it easy to choose the right one. When you go into the cell phone company to get a new plan, if there's somebody there helping you choose the right one based on your lifestyle and what you're using the phone for example, you're going to be more likely to buy the product versus if you just go in there and you don't know what the hell to choose. Same thing with what Jeff said, fear of making the wrong decision. Can you guide them through insurance? Like, how many insurance policies are there out there? 12,000, I don't know. How many?
And even on that one, there is multiple decisions to be made, not to present all the decisions at once. So why don't you do it okay, out of these three things, which is it? Out of these three, which is out of these three. So it breaks down rather
exactly,
than 9 all at once. They can just reduce how many options each time they have to make a decision.
Being preeminent and saying, I believe that these 1, 2, or 3 solutions are going to be much better for your situation versus the other 812, for example.
One prime example of how they do this, even on a subconscious level, is like at a movie theater. There's been studies shown where if the movie theater was selling popcorn, and obviously they want to sell large popcorn because the revenue on it is so much better. If they were selling the popcorn small for $3, medium for $5, and a large for $7, ultimately they're trying to sell the large. People are still going to buy the medium because they don't want to spend $2 more for the large. But if they sell the small for $3, and then they sell the medium for $6.50 and the large for $7, the perceived value is that much better. Going for the large.
It's good. Changing the context, changing the behavior. It's good. It's powerful. Overcoming preference stability. Make it easier to get started and bring attention to unconsidered needs of problems. Work to destabilize the preference. So there's a few tactics here, so I'll go through one at a time. Make it easy to get started. Trials, guide them through making it easy for them to transition to the different product or way they're doing business or way they're changing things or changing their supplier. So how could you make it easier for them to get started with you? That's a big one. You don't want to make it too complicated. Which I spoke about it the other day at the other event we did, where somebody had a cosmetic product for anti-aging, and they had a 30-day money-back guarantee. And I said, if you change the offer to a 30-day trial, and if they didn't want to go ahead with it, they'll get their money back, you would increase your conversions. So making it easier perceptually to get started by getting this trial, rather than if it's you got to buy it and there's a 30-day guarantee, you're actually asking for a commitment, which has to require quite a decision. Whereas if you say just trial this for 30 days, it's a much lower barrier to entry psychologically. Bring attention.
In the cosmetic world, they say, here's a 30-day trial.
Yeah.
We won't bill your card for 15 days. I
love it.
It's kind of dark. But
Yeah.
I was like, I did something like that, and I would call like after like 20 days, and they go,
Yeah.
oh, no, remember, it said we charge you 15 days, you
Yeah.
have 50 days. I'm
Yeah.
like, bravo. Oh, cancel, but bravo.
I saw a mattress company use that offer.
The 100 day.
You've seen it.
100 day.
You've seen it as well. They turn it into a trial. Trial our mattress for 100 days.
Yep.
So it's cool. because it's a reframe, because the original offer was you get your money back after 100 days if you're not happy with it, but you're just reframing how that works. Does that make sense? It's still the same process.
Yep.
I like this though. Bring attention to unconsidered needs or problems and work to destabilize the preference. That product is really good. So whenever you sell a product or service or they're with a competitor, you don't want to bag them out or challenge them in any way because that reflects badly on them. You're basically saying they've made the wrong decision and they're stupid and whatever else. You don't want to do that. So you want to say, yeah, I really like that product as well. The problem that I've found with that is that it tends to break down after 26 days, or it tends to cost twice as much money to maintain. Or an example of like a yogurt company, I really like that yogurt as well, but what I found is it has 3 times as much sugar as this other product. And, as we know, sugar makes you put on weight. So you want to destabilize what they're currently using by putting doubt, seeds some doubt.
Feel, felt, found.
Yeah.
I love that yogurt. I can see like that yogurt, I like it too, so others. But what I found was, instead of just going, shit, it's got too much sugar.
Yeah, that's a shit product.
Then you get the Semmelweis reflex.
Creeps up on you. You don't want to keep eating that product. So is there a way that you can destabilize the preference? So rather than challenging them, don't use taxis, use Ubers, for example, or whatever it is your product or service is. I really like that product. Yeah, I found that a lot of people like that product. But what I found was that it didn't meet this specific need, or there was an issue with it in a lot of cases. Does that make sense? It's just the way you word it is pretty important as well. Overcoming values conflict. Preeminence and anecdotal social proof. So this is a powerful tool as well. So I don't know whether I should go to Tahiti for my holiday or Canada. As a travel agent, you might say, what we found in most cases is people prefer to go to Canada in this month and Tahiti in that month. And what we can do is we can do a package where we can get you to both of those locations at the right times of year. So I'm using social proof to say what most people do is, and then I'm selling both of them. Or if you want them to choose one over the other, you say what most people do is X, Y, Z. Does that make sense? Can you see how this could work with what you're doing? Yeah? Overcoming anticipated regret. We've got to reverse the equation. Make it so that they would regret not buying the product or service, to feel like they would regret not buying it. So by losing out on the opportunity to buy this thing while they can, and so on and so forth. Overcoming anticipated blame. Keep in mind that third-party decision makers make a case that shows the pain of not doing anything is worse. So number one, if there's other people in the factor, if it's the boss, if it's the spouse, involve them in the buying process in whatever way you can, and make them see that the pain of not doing anything at all is actually going to be worse, and they're going to be blamed for not taking an action. So you're reversing that. Say, well, if you don't do this, you're going to get blamed. And finally, overcoming perceived cost of action or change. So individuals don't place a cost in the status quo making decisions. Frame your solution as a more cost-effective solution than the status quo. So remember, we don't place any cost on doing nothing, but we should. If you have a better insurance policy, instead of saying this one's going to save you money, also say this one that you're currently on is going to cost you an extra $10,000 a year. This one's going to save you $2,000, and this one's going to save you $8,000. So you want to always try to put a cost on not doing anything to represent that. You can even do that in your proposals as a graph or a table. So when we had the IT company, we would say the cost of not going to this management plan is going to cost you $50,000 a year. And 9 times out of 10, they would sign up for it. It's pretty powerful stuff.